Hey there, Zach Henderson here, and I've got a little bit of a different video for you here today. We're actually going to be talking about sleep and some of the tools that I've personally used over the years to get to sleep fast and to stay asleep consistently. Now, if you didn't know, I have been a personal trainer for practically my entire adult life, and that means I've got to be up early, really early, and be on and energetic before most people are ever out of bed. So that means sleep and consistent sleep is very important. And when your alarm is set for 5:15 a.m., you've got no room for error. Much like diet and exercise, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. Our bodies and our minds are all different, so what's needed here is experimentation and careful observation. This video is about sharing what I've learned along the way in my own experimentation and sharing with you some simple tools that you can try out in your own nighttime routine. So let's get into it. All right, so I will admit this first one is going to be a little weird, especially if you don't geek out on breathing. So let me explain. At this point, we have good science and thousands of years of anecdotal evidence that shows us the importance of nasal breathing. Breathing through the nose is tightly linked to good health. It promotes relaxation, balances the nervous system, filters the inhaled air, and even has a big impact on our movement and physical performance. Now consider the fact that you take many thousands of breaths each night while you're unconscious. Now, if you have proper nasal breathing habits during the day, chances are good that's going to translate to while you're asleep, but that's not a guarantee. If your jaw does drop open in the night and you shift to mouth breathing, that is going to impact your sleep quality. The obvious example is snoring that could lead to sleep apnea, and at the very least, you're gonna get dry mouth, which is supremely uncomfortable and is terrible for your oral hygiene. The solution is simple. Just a little athletic tape over the lips will help keep your mouth closed and your nose open. Start by taping the mouth for just about 30 minutes during the day, just to get a feel for what it's like and to reduce any anxiety that you might be feeling. And you might be surprised at just how often the tendency crops up to unconsciously drop the jaw. Just a little athletic tape is effective, easy to remove, and doesn't leave behind any adhesive residue. Now for the obvious disclaimers. Do not tape your mouth shut if you are stuffed up, if you've been drinking, or if for any other reason you might be at risk of vomiting. Yes, it looks weird and just might creep out your bedfellow, but it beats a groggy, slow morning after 8 hours of snoring and drooling. You can find tape that is specifically made for this use by searching for sleep strips, and the Buteyko Clinic offers their own design of tape that doesn't go directly over the mouth. Next up is something a bit more straightforward. If you sleep in a noisy environment, it's obviously helpful to sleep with earplugs. Now, I had tried earplugs in the past, but never stuck with it because I couldn't find anything that was comfortable, and they would usually just fall out after a few minutes anyways. Then a few years ago, I started doing float tank sessions, and the float folks would include these Mack earplugs to keep the water out of your ears during your session. So these are just balls of silicone, and they work not by going down into the ear canal, but by forming a seal over the opening of the ear. So you just warm them up in the hands a bit and they become quite malleable. To get the best fit, I use a reverse pinch technique where I will take these 3 fingers, press lightly into the kind of center of the silicone putty, and then I will spread the fingers out and then mash up against the sides, and that really helps to complete the seal, and it is consistently a solid fit and it doesn't fall out in the night. Light can be another huge disruptor of sleep. I recommend hanging blackout curtains and blocking out any electronic light source that might be in the bedroom. But if you're traveling, taking a nap during the day, or otherwise can't control your exposure to light, an eye mask is the next best thing. I've been using an eye mask for the past couple years, and it always goes in my travel bag. And I always assumed that I wouldn't be able to get to sleep with something on my face, but of course the mouth tape cleared me of that pretty quick. In addition to blocking light, the subtle pressure that you experience over the eyes is actually quite relaxing and seems to help reduce tension in the face and head. So the eye mask, another simple and effective tool I recommend that you try out for better sleep. Getting into a calm and relaxed parasympathetic state will obviously help you get to sleep. And the fastest, natural way to influence your state is with simple breath work. And that's exactly the name of the app that I like to use for guided breathing exercises, spelled Breathwrk. I'm a little hesitant to recommend using your phone for anything before bed, but the cool things about this app are the sound effects and the visuals that really help you to stay honed in with your breathing patterns. You have three options when it comes to the visuals with the breathing exercises. You can breathe along with Kiko the monkey, with a circle that expands and contracts, or my personal favorite, following the wave. There are tons of different breathing exercises to choose from under categories like calming, nighttime, performance, energizing, and general health. So the app is free to try, and it even comes with an audio series of educational lessons about the science of breathing. And finally, my favorite thing that always helps me to get to sleep fast, something that I've been using for years now, is a Dohm white noise maker. So years ago, I lived in an apartment that faced a major highway. And the traffic noise wasn't too bad, but at night there would be total silence, and then a tractor trailer would go by, there would be a big spike of noise, and then silence again. Every other minute the same thing would happen. So what I found out is that it wasn't the level of noise that was the issue, but rather the spikes in sound that would keep me up and disturb my sleep. So even though a noise maker makes your room more noisy, the most important thing is that it gives you a consistent level of sound, so that anything that is quieter than the baseline level you barely ever hear, and anything that's louder than that baseline level is relatively less intense on your hearing. So you can put this thing just about anywhere in your room, and there are two cylinders that you can adjust and turn to adjust the tone. Even though today my environment is much more quiet, I still use the noisemaker almost every single night, basically because at this point it's like a Pavlovian response. I hear the swoosh and I instantly get sleepy. So there you have it. Those are 5 simple and powerful tools that you can use to get to sleep fast and stay asleep so that you can enjoy consistent rest and recovery. You can find links to everything in the description. And if you have issues with your sleep, I hope you find something that will make a big positive impact when added to your nighttime routine. So as always, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Leave a comment with what you have added to your sleep routine that has helped you out, and I hope to learn from you as well. Until next time, take care.